Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale or get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shitty clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. FOMO's gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. Time in hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to aim again and again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rise. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Charts are noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down. Diamond hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. But I'll reload, I play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale or get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shitty clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Coma, ready to fly. So yeah, the moment you wrote that, Coma, it reminded me of my daughter because she's dressing up as Sky from Paw Patrol for Halloween. Where's the hangout chat? Yeah, so there's my kids, and there's my daughter right there, and she's like wearing that costume like almost every single day as soon as she's back from school. That's crazy. Manny Box, how you doing? Sterling, how you doing, Sterling? Yeah, Coma got here first. Let's see. Robert, what just happened? Big Bitcoin drop. Yeah, I took along into the internal change of character right here when this candle closed above it. And yeah, basically there's pooled liquidity here that's hoping would be used as buy-side liquidity since we were getting acceptance into this valley area right here after just dipping below it, grabbing liquidity from here. But unfortunately, yeah, I was watching the downtrending point of interest. There wasn't any sell orders at all in the order books, just like tiny little ones. And I ended up started to target this little supply area as well as the valley area high for that rotation to the valley area high. We had decent balance in the valley area here, so I wasn't expecting this point of control to be too strong either. But yeah, we ended up seeing a huge market sell, and we started coming down from there, like stopping me out from there. But the good news is, like, we got another opportunity coming relatively soon, because right here is a really strong previous valley area high at 119,200 right here. We have liquidity right here that can be taken in confluence with that, so we can prepare for a potential bullish change of character after we deviate from this local valley area. But the downside is this valley area could act as resistance coming down here, so we have to treat that as a potential barrier for our long positions if we take any from here. If we zoom out so you can understand where that valley area came from, it's this one right here. It's about 16-day-old valley area that had a lot of control over the price action here. It helped guide us into a long, helped guide us into a long over here, and it helped guide us into a short over here when we failed to get acceptance into it. And we blasted right through it recently, used it as support, and now we're trying to use it as support again for a potential range above that valley area high. The longer we range here, the healthier it is for Bitcoin for it to have that continuation, because a massive amount of people are holding at a profit right now. So if we range here, it tells us that the buyers are taking from the sellers, and that we are, it helps create a reset, and also helps provide a continuation to the upside. So we'll see if we get that, but worst case scenario, if we get acceptance into this valley area instead with a break of structure going into it like this, then we start targeting 117 level right here along with these previous highs that haven't really been retested. And if we do come down there, I'll be bullish again for sure, even if we get the acceptance in there. But if we break through this and lose the 50-day EMA, we can start seeing much lower numbers, like attest to this uptrending daily macro momentum that kind of held us up since, if we zoom out on the daily, since 16K, like basically since we call the start of the bull market, right? So we'll see if we come down that low, but right now we're just treating what we got locally, one step at a time. During today's live, we'll be doing a giveaway. I'll let you guys know when we start that, but we'll do our analysis here, and then we can start doing the giveaway really quick afterwards. Let's see. We have the chats. Music on the west side. Are we ever really going to get an altcoin season? We spoke about that a little bit recently, where we are kind of getting sector rallies in the altcoin space instead of full-blown entire altcoin space like rallying up. Every time we see these strong consolidations here, we do have kind of like miniature versions of an altcoin season every time we see Bitcoin peak around these areas and consolidate, but nothing like we usually see. And when we look at the others dominance chart, it's kind of looking weak too. But yeah, here we have retail exit and whales buy from retail, like institutions are buying it all up as retail are selling. And like during that period when retail sells, they usually flow their funds into more higher risk stuff like altcoins and stuff like that. And then we get these sector rallies like AI running or RWA assets doing a big rally. And they all have their own unique narratives during these periods where they have these decent rallies, but not an actual season. A season for me, and based on on-chain data, doesn't usually occur until Bitcoin gets really overheated. And because we keep consolidating, when we get to that point where we would normally start beginning to get overheated, retail gets scared out, and we kind of get these small little pumps in alts instead of these massive ones that we're used to seeing. And I could show you on chain all the evidence of that if you guys want during this live. What are you giving that Kramer behind you? I'll just give him the side eye because, you know, he doesn't deserve the gift, bro. I figured that number of days. Oh, you guys are talking about... Yeah, so the last cycle ended after, what was it, 1,050 days? Let's go to the daily here. Depends when you... For me, I saw the bull market. Now, this isn't the full chart. We have to use Bitstamp to see everything else. But this is the moment where I confirmed that the bull market would begin, the last cycle. And during that confirmation to our top, we had about 389 days. This period here, when we confirmed it here, and it's been about 1,003. It all depends on where you start your pull. Some people will pull it right from the low before we start the run. Some people will pull it from the confirmation. Oh yeah, from the low. Oh, I guess 1 sec here. I think the average is around 1,050 days. And we're really close to that. But we'll use market structure to define the exit, not time. Because we have that super cycle theory, right? And based on chain data, that theory seems to be working out. Because we're constantly getting these really extremely healthy resets that we'd never normally get in any other cycle. Because normally, if you look at the previous cycle behavior, we just run and sprint, right? We don't really have any cooldowns. The longest cooldown we ever seen in the previous cycles was like 30 days when we start the bull market run. But this is Glassnode. These are balances with, here, for example, with 0.01 Bitcoin. You can see that we started going in a downtrend. It might be tough for you guys to see. Let me just zoom in a little bit around here. But we started our downtrend with holders holding 0.01 Bitcoin, small fish, around 67K on our last little peak there. Right? Downtrend from here. Same with balances for 1 Bitcoin or greater. Downtrend, the same moment. Still in a downtrend as we speak. Addresses holding 1 Bitcoin or more. Sorry. Yeah, 1K Bitcoin. Pull this out here for a second. Yeah, that one's been fairly stable. See, there's a native balances. 10K is going down. Am I looking at this properly? Oh, these are net. Oh, okay. Yeah, balances with 100 or greater. That's been in an uptrend. Let me just reset this. This seems off. I was just looking at this yesterday. The data was completely different. $10 or greater. I have a recording with someone of us talking about this, and the data was very different. I'll look into that. And balances with 100 or more, and that's going up. I saw, yeah, retail going down, institutions going up. So retail's been selling to institutions. Okay, now, yeah, it's right. Okay. But yeah, with Bitcoin, guys, right now, I'm looking for 2 opportunities from these lows. I prefer to have a bullish change character around here on like the 15-minute time frame, or we could potentially get an SFP from here or an SFP from here, right? So this low is like the 119,147. This is the one I prefer to be taken over this one, but we kind of take what we're given. See, grab this level, SFP wick level here. Oh, my bad. Not sure how that happened. There we go. So yeah, look for the sweep here. If we get a sweep here, the target is essentially this high right here. Same here. If we get the sweep here, it would be this target. Unless we get a pullback prior to that, then it would be the high of that pullback for the SFP. So whatever structure we get, we'll find out what kind of measurable target we get. But yeah, I prefer to get the bullish change of character, strong stop loss guard, targeting the opposite side of this value area up here again, but being mindful now of the value area low acting as a potential barrier, and we have an order block alongside that too. So if we get the pathing tool out, and what I'm preparing for in terms of pathing, it's just something like this. Maybe we'll hit our head here, but ultimately, yeah, we've got to watch out for potential barrier right here, in hopes that we actually get a proper acceptance instead, and then rotate our way up further. But that's Bitcoin. Yeah, in the worst case scenario, we break down below, break a structure, lower low, and then we have to anticipate that we could come down to as low as 117. Oh, we got the chat. We got Dutchy. How you doing, man? Gabriel, another day for chat. Kyle, thanks, man. Where do I find Canadian and Alaskan people in the same room? Google sent me here. What? All right. Let's see. Trump spoke about China tariffs again. Yeah. Fun stuff. All right, let's see if we get this SFP here. We got 7 minutes left on this candle for the 15-minute. 30 minutes more reliable. Let's see if we get the 15. While we wait on Bitcoin, because we have about 7 minutes on that, do you guys want to look at anything else? Any assets you guys are curious about? A lot of the stuff that we spoke about recently kind of panned out relatively well. Like Dogecoin, we're talking about this area of interest off the 50-day EMA. We have this uptrending macro support that's been holding up Dogecoin too. We have this previous value area high here. So we had decent confluence. Now it looks like we broke through it, and then we hit our head off the downtrending point of interest from the point where, yeah, it started downtrend at 2703. So that really worked out well in confluence with what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin's rejection to the downside. But now, yeah, we're at that area of interest again, just as Bitcoin is kind of approaching this area of interest. It doesn't look like we're going to get that SFP so far. We got 6 minutes left on the candle. But again, this could be another area where you can prepare for longs again. You just got to see it first, be respected as support before trusting it. We can move our wick level from here to here where liquidity might be resting. Wait, we're getting really close to that level. Ethereum, how did Ethereum do since we last looked at it? Oh yeah, we were preparing for a potential long here. We spoke with in the live because of the fact that it was so close to a previous value area high. We wanted to have that break pull back, then higher high. Since there wasn't very much interest through here, like this was the measurable target, and we were looking at this as a potential barrier. But yeah, we never got that proper break of structure continuation. Instead, we got a lower high double top and came down, bounced off our little wick level, got an SFP right here, and we rallied up a little bit from that SFP and then started to fall back down. Now we are at this uptrending point of interest here. Let's zoom out and see where that came from. Go to the 4 hour first. This came all the way down from, okay, for when Ethereum was at 1,412. So this is a pretty significant level too. Just like Dogecoin's macro support, this is a macro uptrending point of interest. So hopefully we hold it. We are now coming down to a previous POC. They helped us a little bit here in our trading journey. But now we got to see if we get the bounce off that point of control, or at least at the value area low. We need to close above this momentum in order for it to be likely respected for support. Let's zoom in on lower time frames and see what we get. I don't know why it slung shot me like that. There we go. 15-minute. All right, so yeah, we need to wait for that bullish. Need to pull back first of at least 2 candles, lower low, break that high, get the change of character, and then we start targeting this previous value area low from here. Got lots of fair value gaps, so we can tell that there's a lot of market orders being pushed into place, filling a lot of the limit orders in the order books. But yeah, we're kind of at a key level now for Ethereum, just as Bitcoin now is, just as Dogecoin now is. Everything's kind of at a really important make it or break it kind of level. Esther SFP. You could take the SFP on Esther if you'd like, but I do want to recommend that, like, you want to make sure that the entire market, like, well, aka Bitcoin, is kind of agreeing alongside that too, or else like it could pull, because Esther has a crazy amount of BNB pairing liquidity, right? And so if BTC goes down, BNB will go down, and then Esther will go down alongside it. That's called an on-chain pairing effect. So if you ever wonder why when Bitcoin goes down and everything else kind of just follows, it all ties with its liquidity pairing. What they use to make the asset, basically. We might get the SFP on Bitcoin, actually, in 2 minutes on the candle via Wild Wick. So one thing that we learned from our backtesting in the community, if you want to improve your win rate by, so far it's about 15 to 20%. In our backtesting, we still have more data to grab. But if you grab like a Fibonacci tool from the wick to the body after it closes, you can set up your Fibonacci to give you a SFP stop loss guide to improve your chances of winning the trade. It's like a 50% deviation from the wick to the body. When you have to wait for the candle to close, it'll give you that suggestion, and then it'll improve your win rate on the setups, but it does reduce your profit factor. So just make sure that it's still worth the R&R in the setup. Binance always sell other assets and buy BNB on chain too. If you track Wintermute and wallets, you know, Wintermute is a market maker. So if they're working for BNB, then yeah, they'll do stuff like that. Just like they were working for Trump's token, they were doing that with Ethereum. Let's see. Let's pull up. We don't have an Esther chart. Let's pull up Esther on here. All right, zoom out. See what we did last time we were doing TA on this thing. Yeah, last time we were looking at it, we were looking for. Oh, maybe we did something here too. But yeah, we're looking for longs at this valley area low. So if we bounced up, got to the point of control a little bit higher, and then it came down. See, we got demand zone right here holding up the fort. We can delete this one. This one's been mitigated. We could rotate it down to here. We got another zone right here, actually. See, whenever we get these, impulse moves up, base, impulse move up, right? These are all areas of interest you got to watch that can act as potential demand, especially if it's the one that just happened prior to a opposing change of character. We can now include in this fixed range volume profile pull from here to the active price action. Oh, no, not the active, sorry. To about here when we exit the valley area. Delete this noise. An area of confluence here for shorts. Got our downtrending momentum. There's the SFP that you guys mentioned. Maxwell, good eye, man. Yeah, we're sweeping this low right here as we speak with this candle. This is the hourly that we're looking at. We did get a local 15-minute SFP too with a target of, yeah, from the moment this confirmed, yeah, generate a target of this high here. So if you want to play it safe, you can wait for the hourly to close after we're sweeping this liquidity and see how it performs, or have that higher probability of being right on your setup. Right? It's the same target from the hourly and the 15th, so to have that multi-time frame backing, it could be a safer play. And then that could induce the bullish change of character that could drive us back up. But you just got to watch out. Just like now we have to watch out the valley area low on Bitcoin, acting as a potential area of resistance, we also have to watch it here on Esther. So this is going to be a big key level, whether we get the SFP or not, for that reversal. There we go. Man, I just can't click today, I guess. All right, so yeah, we got the sweep of liquidity, just need to have the confirmation. That comes in 27 minutes on the hourly. And the 15-minute, we already had the confirmed SFP, but yeah, with the way the market's going right now, it might be safe just to wait for the hourly confirmation. All right, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. I should make an Esther chart. Oh, Bitcoin's breaking right through the valley area. All right, we might not get the support we need. Now, like the worst case scenario is already kind of playing out. We're breaking below. That gives the valley area high the opportunity to act as resistance. We could even come up and retest this low to act as resistance. Let's see what happens. We just got to wait for structure to kind of give us the idea of where we're going. But we broke through the key level that I've been watching for a while. Update on your BNB request. I'm probably just looking at the order books at 1160, and let's pull up BNB. BNB was one of our big trades as a community. It was a while back though when it actually confirmed the massive break. This was the key level we were watching in our last live. It broke, unfortunately, and now we're on our way down towards its target. We had this level here we're watching for potential SFPs, but this is our big demand zone here that we're watching for a reversal. So it's almost played out so far. Yeah, You get the breakdown, pull back, retest it with the head and shoulders right here. So if you're late to the party, this is the confirmation entry. And now we're coming down to our next key area of interest. So you can delete that pathing, and we'll just draw a new pathing so it doesn't cover our screen for anyone who uses my BNB chart. We now have downtrending momentum that we can watch. This one's the broad momentum. This is our evolving momentum right here. Let me just click it on properly. There we go. Right, there could be an opportunity here. Let's see what happens. But I prefer for us to get into this demand zone and get that structure. Bitcoin's going to help call the shots on that one. But honestly, this could be a really good opportunity for BNB to range because this thing's been on a run for a while, right? We called the bull market rally on BNB around here, $270 when we got that break. We had a bit of a front run opportunity, if I remember correctly, yeah, around here. The macro golden pocket was our primary target. We breached through that and used it as support and then continued our run up. The Binance Smart Chain is starting to get some attention now, finally. Like button activated. 1,000. What are you guys talking about in here? Okay. Which background? Oh, profile. Okay. Well, anything else you guys want to look at? Any assets? We went through Dogecoin, BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin. We got some levels that we can watch, but really we just need the structure to give us the evidence of support or evidence of a continuation. So far, we are more prone for a continuation than we are a reversal. Rectober is here. Let's look at the CoinGlass today. So if you go to coinglass.com/today, you can see how October's performing so far. You could always just go with monthly candles, of course, but this is kind of a better visual. So, yeah, so we only ever had 2 bearish months of October, but the last September was really aggressive, right? We ended at a really aggressive note. So if you zoom out on the daily, like September was playing off to what we're used to, right? We had this a bit of a rally up, hit our head off downtrending resistance, or created it after hitting our head off the previous Valerie low, and then had the bearish internal change of character right here, and that led us back down, watching this as a potential target, but we ultimately were targeting 107, got a little bit of a front run to it, and then rallied up like crazy. So it kind of left October in this cool down state, right? So October might not live up to its name this time around. We still have 20 days left. Lots could happen. Like we could technically be using this as a retest, then create a higher high, then run up, right? So lots could still happen. Or we can just consolidate, right? And still end on a green note, right? But yeah, right now, like October was kind of put in a position where it kind of gave it the opportunity to be weak, right? Where 100% of people were at a profit, creating new all-time highs. We'll see what happens. The seasonality of like tax season though does kind of help give it a boost, but you just take it, take whatever the structure gives you. We still have Moonvember coming up, where normally we have these really aggressive pumps. It's like the average of October is 20% growth. the average of November is 46%. But a lot of that 46% weight comes from this crazy 449% move back in like 2013 when it was very low market cap in comparison to today. All right, cool. Yep, so yeah, bullish change of character off of this key level here for longs. If we end up getting it, this candle's trying its best to close above the value area high, targeting the previous value area low in hopes that we get acceptance so we can get a target extension to 124. Okay, but yeah, it all depends on what happens here. This should carry a lot of assets that are coming close to their key levels for a reversal as well. But Ethereum just got slaughtered a little bit there, coming down to a previous POC. Look at that candle, jeez. All right, cool. We got request to look at Cardano. Okay, let's pull up Cardano. Our ADA chart right here. If I remember correctly, we had this downtrending resistance here. Yep. We're at this area of demand. We're anticipating a reversal. We got the bounce. But again, another kind of like Batman head and shoulders kind of posture. And now we're breaking. We already surpassed this measurable target for that head and shoulders. I'm just waiting on my computer to catch up. What do I got open that's causing this? There we go. But now we're testing. And we breached through this previous valley area. We have a point of control down here, a demand zone down here. We have the 200-day EMA at 77.61 that we basically bounced off of. So now we just got to wait for structural evidence of support. I'll be looking for a bullish change of character around here too. So again, another important level that we need to have held on Cardano. So just looking for that bullish change of character. And then we'll see what the market looks like at that time. Pretty wild drop, man. What else is dying? Solana. Let's take a look at Solana. Bitcoin just bounced off the anchored VWAP from the recent low. Oh, nice, we're on. Okay, the last time we looked at Solana, we were looking for this move up to this previous value area low. We're preparing for not just the measurable target to be hit, but also the previous value area low. And then we had the supply zone here that had a lot of confluence. We had order blocks that actually didn't end up getting hit, but we did hit the golden pocket supply zone within that area alongside the previous value low. Then we end up getting the reversal, and now we are coming way down. We have this demand zone here. Change the template to longs. There we go. Now where are we? We are just tapping into it, right? Yeah. So we mitigated the 30-minute order block within that zone. We got an aggressive buy shadow wick that just about to close. And based on the behavior or everything else, that might get reclaimed. Just be careful. Could come right back down, reclaim it. So we need a base of structure. All we have is this, right? So we need to see some reversal structure. Yeah, right now we just got that hammer candle that's forming. I'll unless it's an SFP, you'll very rarely see me enter on a single candle structure. Yeah, same thing with Solana here. Let me just pull up and see what kind of barriers we'll have. So we can delete this. We don't need this anymore. This helped us as supply before. Just left it there for this demand. Held as demand, and then now we can delete it. Same thing here. This has been mitigated. Move this here now. Delete this. Close screen. Yeah, I think a lot of this could be reclaimed. I'm not expecting a strong V-shaped recovery with the way things are going with Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin right now is like testing this previous low, potentially as resistance, so it might drive the price down a little bit. So yeah, we just need that reversal structure. Get the downtrending momentum drawn right here. We can delete this. We don't need this anymore, as well as this. So same kind of thing. And then we have to watch the previous lows as potential resistance. So we have, the previous lows as resistance. If we find any longs to help you with your targeting, you got to watch out for this area. And right here, if we breach through this, this will be the next area of interest that I'll be watching out for. We got a 15-minute order block. We got supply here. And then we have this downtrending level of resistance that might force an undercut if you see giant sell walls in the order books. Just watch out, because that could prevent you from seeing Solana reach that area. So here, here, and here will be any barriers you have to watch if you take any longs around here. Just wait for the structure first before you take any longs, because we could see it continue to go down. Okay, just closing some charts so I don't slow down my computer too much. Let's look at W. That's something that we were looking at before too. Yeah, we're hopeful for support here on W. Right, we had this massive uptrending level of support. We built this incredibly large inverse head and shoulders. We're hopeful that we would hold this area. This was a big area that we were watching for a long to front run the potential larger time frame break of structure. But yeah, right now we haven't really confirmed it. We wanted to see support off this neckline. We got the change of character though on the 15, but we never really got any safe entry. And now, we're using that demand zone as resistance during this moment. We got this fish hook pattern. Fish hooks are temporarily bullish to become bearish. Bouncing off the 50-day EMA. We have this demand zone here. So this is an area of confluence for W, for sure. We got that valley area low right here. Here's our previous point of control. So again, waiting for structure. But this is a good spot where a lot of people would prepare for longs for sure. Tons of confluence. Just got to get the bullish change of character. Prepare for the reversal. Watch the point of control. And watch the lows in confluence with the previous value high. If we delete this. And we will add this here. Okay. Nothing will stop until the markets calm down. Yeah. Bitcoin's the boss. Think of Bitcoin as the parent, right? Telling all the little kids what to do. So once Bitcoin chills out, the kids are going to be freaking out too. What's next? We got a request for VIX, HBAR, and XRP. VIX. What is VIX? It's not in. It's not here. Let's look at HBAR. We have an HBAR chart. It's been a while since we looked at HBAR. Okay, HBAR's got some relative strength. Everything's losing a lot of their key levels as HBAR is holding it. So that's a good indication of which assets you should be looking at. But yeah, HBAR is still holding its demand zone. We're bouncing off this previous value area low. Let me update this fixed range pole to here. There we go. So yeah, right now we're still using that previous value area as resistance. If we get that acceptance through this massive double bottom, that'd be incredible. And then we can start targeting the value area high. The measurable target for that double bottom, if it played out, this is the hourly time frame we're looking at, is literally pretty much the value area high. So we'll leave that there in case it pans out. We'll look at the internal stuff. Oh, this magnet tool is messing up my trend line. It's like here. Paste of the sellers. You're sweeping this low. Yeah, HBAR is going to get spot to prepare for long soon too. We just got to get the structure as well. Like we are sweeping this area if you want to take the SFP if it confirms, but again, you got to wait for things calm down. We don't have any confirmation of a reversal on Bitcoin, and you want to have that confluence alongside your altcoin trades. If we do get the SFP, the technical target is right here. If you'd rather wait for like a 15-minute bullish change of character, that'll be the safer bet. Okay, that's HBAR, XRP. What's XRP doing? Oh, this is Solana. Okay. Okay, so last time we looked at XRP yesterday. Oh no, Wednesday. Yeah, we're looking for a break of this level, watching out for the measurable target and the supply zone. In hopes for a continuation, we could prepare for the exit plan here. But we had this slow drag down, which is like big pet peeve of mine structurally. But yeah, we hit that area, came down, and now we are at the value area low. If we zoom out, we've been in this double distribution value area for about like 90 days now. And we just broke below it, which is a good criteria to prepare for longs. We have these lows here that could be swept. We have a wick level here at 269.399. We have a wick level at 266.027. Oh, yeah, sorry, 266.027, yeah. So yeah, we could prepare for it to sweep those lows. You probably feel a lot more comfortable as a trader for those lows to be swept first, but it's not up to us. So we'll see if we get the bullish change of character eventually. Right now, that level is like right about, yeah, here. But that could evolve and change to be a lower level if you give it some time. So we delete this noise now. We don't need it. It was helpful at the time, but it's not helpful anymore. This level is still significant. We can keep that on there. So yeah, now it's just a matter of waiting for structure. But this, we have the deviation of a valley area low, which is bullish to prepare for potential longs. We just got to get the structure, that's all. Otherwise, we could continue down to a previous valley area. And for that, for XRP would be pretty low, right? Well, not too low, but we'd want XRP to kind of hold above this previous valley area high. And this valley area is 219 days old, so it should be a relatively strong barrier of support. If we do come down lower, we have a valley area high at like 260 pretty much on the dot. So we just watch that level. It should provide you support. But yeah, always wait for the structural evidence of support and don't just trust a level blindly. That's how you get wrecked. All right, cool. Now we're coming down after hitting edge resistance. Let's see. Yeah, we got some time for it to paint the picture, of course. Kyle, could you kindly please explain the rules for validating SFPs using two opposing candles? Also the max age for legacy SFPs. There is no max age for legacy SFPs. But you do gotta realize that liquidity can expire. So if you have an area where, let's say for example, someone shorted the all-time high, right? Okay, let's see if I can find you a good example. Let's say we had like a sweep from this previous all-time high. It's been like, I don't know, for the moment where that high was to the last time we were there, it's like 852 days. So you can't really count on the stop losses to be there. You can't really count on high leverage liquidity to be there. If someone held a short from here and then held it through all of this, they're insane. They're crazy, right? They just let themselves get knocked out. So like the SFP behavior would likely not pan out. Like, yeah, traders are probably going to be responsive to it. And so, but I wouldn't really trust the first sweep. I'd look for our second sweep for the newly added liquidity in a scenario like that. And then there's this one here. We had a decent amount of time between each one. Right? 34 days isn't that long. If you can look at it on the heat maps and see the liquidity there, then I'd be more likely to trust it. But you won't be able to look back at the heat maps for like 850 some days. Right? So use what the heat map charts will allow you to see to help determine your legacy SFPs if you're looking for an old level to be swept. Because the liquidity would likely still be there if it's like 30, 60, 90 days. But like 400 plus days, I'd be hesitant, very hesitant. Still a level you'd want to watch for sure. And looking for a reaction, but I don't know if I would take it as an SFP. But explaining the rules for validating an SFP, luckily that's pretty darn simple. And well, what I'll do is I'll go to here, our server, and we'll just type in the chat, ! SFP. so I can explain it a little faster. So what you want to look for, I guess I need a sec here. So the screenshot was a daily one. Here's another example. What you want to have, at least for the criteria of an SFP, is pullback of at least 2 candles. And this one we got several, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got enough candles here. Basically, you need 2 consecutive candle pullback. And then we come down to give us a break of structure or a change of character. An SFP comes from a sweep of the low, but closes above that wick, right? So it just needs to close above this wick right here for it to be considered an SFP. And then the SFP target is the most recent pullback prior to the SFP. So it'll be this high right here. You could have reasons for target extensions, but the SFP itself, its measurable target, is always going to be the previous high. If it's like a bullish or bearish SFP where we swept a recent high, it's the opposite. Everything's upside down to what I just said. I hope that makes sense. If we can find another example, we have them on our charts everywhere. But that's basically what an SFP is, just an invalidation of a break of structure or a change of character. Like at this candle here, it closed below the wick, right? But if it closed above it, then it would have been an SFP. Why am I so crazy on chats? All right. Bitcoin really falling the SPY right now. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of assets that are tied to the S&P 500 now are holders of Bitcoin. So they'll get more and more correlated over time too, sometimes. It's been a good hedge against the US dollar situation with the government shutdown. So when the government shuts down, normally the DXY depreciates by 0.2% per day. And Bitcoin will use, people will use Bitcoin and gold and silver as a hedge against that during that time. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be respecting this as resistance. If we get the lower low, we have a 5-minute time frame break of structure. Yeah. See what happens. But yeah, let's get to the giveaway. Now, I've been having issues with the giveaway system. Tried fixing it right before this. Was kind of last second. We'll give it a shot. But there could be, there'll be another way we can give it away. Let's see. Or what we can do is, let's sec here. So I'm just gonna log into the giveaway system. One moment. And I'll let you guys know what word we'll be using. I'll type it on screen and I'll say it in the chat. Or I'll have Sterling say it for you guys in the chat. 1 second. What am I doing wrong here? There we go. Okay. All right. So I'll sync from Discord. That's working right on. You see it loading in. So we got all the tickets from the members added already. And now anyone who says the word, what word do you guys want to use? We'll use the word let's call it let's say dump, because everything's just, we'll use red because we always see is red candles right now. One moment before I get you guys saying that word though, I got to pull the video ID from the current live that we're in, which I can get, my bad, I can get that pretty easily. There we go. I got it here. All right, chat. I'm going to click start listening. All right, it's listening. So now everyone say the word red. Word red. And then I'll let you guys know when to stop, and then we'll do the giveaway right after. And there's a bit of a delay before you guys hear what I'm actually saying, so I don't expect you guys to start pumping out the word right now. There we go. Use the red, capitalize your R, guys. Noah. Capitalize your R. I don't know if this thing's case sensitive or not yet. Capitalize your R's. There we go. There we go. Proper grammar. They're just kidding. All right, we'll give it like, I'm going to count down in my head here. Just checking, see if everyone, okay. Siva fixed it, nice. Okay. Oh, Siva's giving every, wait, you can do it, there we go. All right, I'm gonna shut it down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You guys are getting this like 10 seconds later. This is how you train AI, you know. Yeah, it's funny. Okay. I'm going to click stop now. All right. We stopped listening. Saying it more than once does not get you in more than once, by the way. All right, it stopped. Let's go to the draw page and see who wins. I'm going to pick a winner. Rawhide. Okay, we have an elite Discord member that won. I don't recognize this handle. Must be a new member or someone's, I just know their username. Congratulations. I'm going to screenshot this. All right, so this is the winner of a $6,000 account. Okay. We're going to close this and we're going to do another giveaway for a free one-on-one coaching call. Let me just save this really quick. Okay. So yeah, you want a free $6,000 funded account from Klein Funding. If you guys want to learn more about Klein Funding, I got a link down below. That will also give you guys a discount. If you use Investa Funding as a promo code, you'll get 15% off your valuation fee. So if you want to apply for your own account, you could do that too. But I'll be giving away accounts every Friday. Right now it's $6,000, but next month I might be able to get you guys like $30,000 accounts. That'd be pretty sweet. So Rawhide, congratulations, man. Now let's see if we can pick another winner. Jay, hey, I was talking to you in the chat today. You just want a free one-on-one coaching call. So we can book that together. I'll give the announcement in the server. I want you guys to be messaging me to claim your rewards because I don't want people getting in the habit of expecting messages from me for these prizes in case scammers try to take advantage of that to confuse people. But yeah, just shoot me a DM in the Discord. My handle is just @KyleChismore. You'll be able to add me as a friend. I'll accept everyone's friend requests, but please note that I will never message you first, but I'll always reply to you, okay? It might take me some time to reply to you because I get a lot of messages in a day, but I'll always reply. All right, cool. Congratulations, guys. Pretty cool. So you got $6,000 count and a free one-on-one coaching call. Next Friday, we'll do another giveaway. And maybe we'll add something else in there too. And don't feel bad if you missed out. There's always another opportunity. All right, cool, guys. I got to head out. I'm sorry about the market today. It's kind of crappy. But yeah, we're at a level where we can prepare for great longs potentially. Just need to wait for the structure. I'll give you guys a signal if I feel like I can find something safe for us to jump in on together. But yeah, it's a bummer that we lost this trade. But we had a really great short here. If you're using proper risk management, your wins will always outweigh your losses, right? And we teach that in the course. All right, guys, you have yourself an amazing day. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing. We're so close to the 7,000 subscriber goal, like super close. And when we get there, my OCD will be resolved. And then we'll have a new goal, of course. All right, guys, you have a great day. Thanks for watching.